What's going on, everyone? We are going to get started momentarily. I am going to share this out. I'm going to put a couple links inside the chat, just things that I will be talking about tonight. Once again, I do this all streaming from my PS5, so I don't have any cool timers. I can't get anything like that done. I also can't share out, like set up a premiere or anything like that, which, you know what, that's fine. I'm going to end up getting this channel to a point where, it buys itself a computer. And um, also, for those who might watch this after, who are followers of the channel, I am working currently on 3 different reviews. So the problem is all, not all three, I'm sorry, 2 of those games are longer in nature, and the other one I absolutely just suck at. So I am working on reviews right now. Um, the 2 games that are longer are causing me some problems because I'm trying to play them and get a good grasp of the game before I give a review on it. If nothing else, I'll make a couple, I don't know, review in progress videos because I still want to do my reviews of games that I find on sale. Uh, that's why I started this channel, and that's why I want to continue. The news part of it is what I think is going to help my channel get the view count and the subscribers that I want, because it's been a slow go of it, but since I've been doing these news videos, I've gotten 20 new subscribers. So that's really, really good. I've also got a ton more engagement. So let me get these in here real quick. That way everybody can follow along if they want of the things that I'll be covering tonight and where I'll be drawing most of my information from. So bear with me. If you're here already, like this video, share it out. That would be awesome. But give me just a moment. Here is the link to the first article I'll be using. And let me find that second. Oh, the second is just if we actually get to it. I do kind of want to go over this. So obviously I didn't even put the second topic in my header because nobody gives a rat's rip about the second topic, but I do. And once again, here's my 2 sources. Well, you know what? I tried. It won't let me do it. It's just about the head of Gorilla moving over and getting the promotion, and just kind of a huge win that is for PlayStation Studios in general. So here we go. Let's get into it. I'm not really going to be playing much, but on the PS5, in order to stream anything, I need to have a game up and running. So y'all get to look at one of the games I'm working on a review for right now, and that is Forspoken. But tonight, oh my goodness, tonight, it is all about the ABK deal. It is all about Microsoft and the lying and the frustrations and just everything that culminated to this point. We're going to be going over the Eurogamer article. That, if y'all heard that, that was my 4-year-old having trouble getting him to stay in bed tonight. But we're going to be going over the ABK deal. We're going to be going over the Eurogamer article. That was the first article I saw after what I thought was a fake tweet this morning. When I got out of the shower, it was like 6:05, and I see this tweet that comes up that says CMA blocks deal, and I was like, no, what? Because I thought the deal was going to go through. I thought Microsoft was going to make those concessions, and I thought the CMA was going to say, cool, and we're good now. And yeah, I thought that was it. So I was super shocked when I saw that, and I really thought it was just a PlayStation fanboy just trolling. And, then I, did a quick Google search, and there were about 6 different articles, and I picked the Eurogamer because, well, Eurogamer is from there, and it's kind of I trust what Eurogamer says on this, um, just because that's their home turf, right? So that's the article we'll be going over. Um, I have seen some people either A, try to give massive credit to Sony for this, or B, kind of blaming Sony for this. We're going to get into why that I don't think that that's accurate uh, at all. And so let's go ahead and dive in tonight. If you are here, uh, I won't really have my phone up, so I'll try to interact with chat as much as I can. But I will be going back and forth between the chat and the Eurogamer article. Um, just because, like I said, I really want to do this right. And I don't want to do it via speculation. I don't want to do it via, hey, this is what somebody on Twitter said. I actually want to do this the right way tonight. So here we go. Sorry, I'm parched. Let me first figure out. There it is. Tom Phillips is the one who wrote this. Once again, this article is from Eurogamer. This came out today. And he is the deputy editor. I guess that means he's kind of high up. But he's the one that wrote this. He's the one where I got the scoop from, so to speak, first thing this morning when I woke up. So it says, Microsoft's $68.7 billion Activision Blizzard deal has been dramatically blocked by UK regulators following a months-long investigation. The decision by the UK's Competition and Markets Authority prevents Microsoft from buying the publisher behind Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and Candy Crush. Follows earlier concerns it would lead to an unfair impact on arch-rival PlayStation. I love the way he writes it, on arch rival, like it's some like medieval like fighting tournament. This is my arch rival. Instead, today's decision stems from the CMA's concerns over the deal's proposed impact on the cloud gaming sector. In fact, in today's final report, the CMA said Microsoft's ownership of Activision Blizzard risked stifling competition in this growing market. We'll stop there for a second. So, basically, Sony had jack diddly squat to do with this. As a matter of fact, if you remember, a couple weeks ago, Sony came in, or not Sony, the CMA came out and said, hey, listen, you know what, PlayStation, we actually don't think this is going to affect y'all as bad as you say it will. So you know what? We're done. We're not pursuing that avenue anymore. And oh my goodness, you could hear cheers around the world from all 30 million, 35 million Xbox owners. Like, it was awesome. Everybody was happy. Everybody was great. They were puffing out the chest. Everybody, at least everybody. I say everybody. Everybody on social media. Let's say that. What's up, Toolman? So, let's say that everybody on social media who had a green color background, green words, green anything in their profile was amazingly hyped because that was the only hurdle they saw. Now, what I will tell you, this is kind of cool, and I sent it out to the Saltiest Gaming podcast group today, that, man, I want to say it was right when the CMA came out with their decision and said, hey, PlayStation, you'll be fine. We did a show shortly after that where I believe Wooly Gamer pointed out that Microsoft doesn't care about Call of Duty. Microsoft doesn't care about the games or the library of games. What they care about is that cloud infrastructure. What they care about is expanding their cloud. And by partnering with Sony, I pointed out, or by partnering with Nintendo, I pointed out that they're going to try to bolster that they're sending 150 million new people Call of Duty. So it's okay if they take it off PlayStation, right? So we had this conversation on the Saltiest Gaming podcast about how it was about the cloud gaming, not necessarily anything else. Because let's be honest, Candy Crush probably makes more than PlayStation in a year. I have to assume that. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but I know there are a lot of people who play Candy Crush and a lot of people who spend money on it. So that game makes a boatload of money. Also, I pointed out that it's a subscription-based company, Xbox, wanting to purchase another subscription-based company to grow their subscription service. And I'm telling you, everything we said is in this article. And I absolutely love that. So, once again, if you're here, I can't see like who's all here or how many people are in here. But if you're here, thank you. Let's continue with this. Oh, wait. I never even covered the thing. So in today's final report, the CMA said Microsoft's ownership of Activision Blizzard risks stifling the competition in this growing market. Okay? So I covered the cloud gaming and then stopped. So what's funny is Xbox this whole stinking time, let us compete. Let us compete. We want to compete. We're not the market leader. We want to compete. We want to compete. And the CMA goes, yeah, wait a second. If we give this to you, you will get a big boost to a sector that you already own the majority in. No, you'll be stifling competition for everybody else because you'll own such a big chunk. What's up, Salty? And so you sit here and they're getting beat with their own argument. When they said it will stifling competition in this growing market. I'm sorry, Xbox, the other team needs to compete. It's freaking hilarious. And what's awesome about this is PlayStation comes out smelling like roses. Because it's not because of Call of Duty. It's not because of exclusive content or titles on PlayStation versus exclusive to Xbox. No. Not at all. No, this is about cloud gaming. Let's continue. We remain fully committed to this acquisition and appeal, Microsoft President Brad Smith said today. The CMA's decision rejects a pragmatic path to address competition concerns and discourages technology innovation and investment in the United Kingdom. So, and here, look, listen. We have already signed contracts to make Activision Blizzard's popular games available on 150 million more devices. Wonder why they signed all those contracts. It's like people pointed this out and said that this was going to be a talking point to try to get the deal to pass. Sony's player base is how much? About 140, 145? Call it 150? 150 million more devices. They're just trying to switch player bases here. Anyways, that's not the point of this. And we remain committed to reinforcing these agreements through regulatory remedies. We're especially disappointed that after lengthy deliberations, this decision appears to reflect a flawed understanding of this market and the way the relevant cloud technology actually works. Okay, so this was a response from, what did it say? Brad Smith. I've never heard of this guy. Oh, Microsoft President Brad Smith. Oh, okay, cool. This is his essentially response to this. So one thing I think is going on in here is, doesn't it kind of sound like Microsoft is kind of threatening to keep investing in the United Kingdom, like Microsoft as a whole. I mean, that's just, in business talk, that's what this sounds like. It sounds like a very subtle, like, jab, like, hey, the CMA's decision rejects a pragmatic path to address competition concerns and discourages technology innovation and investment in the United Kingdom. It sounds very much like, hey, we can pull all of our stuff out of the United Kingdom and just forget Microsoft Office, PCs, all that stuff. We'll just take our stuff because you're discouraging technology innovation and investment in the United Kingdom. He'd be okay with me saying this. I think he is still in the hospital, um, but he's kind of kicking himself right now because he would love to be on here right now. Um, that dude loves gaming, and I love talking with him about it. And so the second thing they're doing, back to the article real quick. The second thing they're doing is they are trying to tout, hey, we've signed contracts. We've already done this. Um, I'm sorry. Those contracts might as well be toilet paper. They're, they're contracts for a product, for an IP, for a developer studio publisher that you don't own yet. So you can't really like say, hey, this is what's going to happen, because I'm sorry, you can't. It doesn't work that way. So 150 million more devices, okay, that's great. So that should make your playable player count available to 300 million total, or include PC, say 400 million. And no, why not? Oh, because you want to drop Sony. Yeah, okay, no. Like, we're especially disappointed that after lengthy deliberations, this decision appears to reflect a flawed understanding of this market. So, this one kind of bothers me, and I'll tell you why. Because when Jim Ryan came out and said basically that about their decision that, hey, it wouldn't really affect Sony that bad, um, and I think they think Sony would be just fine, and blah blah blah. Jim Ryan came out and said almost those exact words, and people on the Xbox side were like, "Oh, look at him, he's just crying, he's just upset, he's just this, he's just that." But now look what's going on. Oh, hey, y'all don't understand this. Y'all don't understand what actually is going on here. Y'all are misinterpreting this. That's actually not right. It's the same exact thing, but it was championed when one did it and now not when the other one does it. And I don't get that. Like, I understand that we all have like our biases, and even the person who says, "Hey, I own everything," they typically have a leaning. And so you got to sit and at least look at this through the sense of, hey, this is of course what both companies are going to say. But at the same time, like, you also have to be able to read between the lines of what is here. Yeah, man, absolutely salty. Definitely thoughts out to church. Like, that's my dude. And I hope he's listening right now, because I hope something I say tonight makes him laugh. Want to be sure to put him in a little bit more pain. Uh, but I really hope that church is listening tonight. Um, Once again, if you're here, like, share this out. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new. Um, and let's keep going with the article, because this is what I said I was going to do. I'm going to read the article. I may give some commentary on some stuff, but I am going to read the article. Activision Blizzard issued its own response criticizing the decision as a disservice to UK citizens who face increasingly dire economic prospects. Here's that statement in full. The CMA's report contradicts the ambitions of the UK to become an attractive country to build technology businesses, an Activision Blizzard spokesperson said. We will work aggressively with Microsoft to reverse this on appeal. The report's conclusions are a disservice to UK citizens who face increasingly dire economic prospects. We will reassess our growth plans for the UK. Global innovators, large and small, will take note that despite all its rhetoric, the UK is clearly closed for business. Oh my goodness. So if you didn't think that that what Brad said was a subtle like threat or subtle like insinuation, ABK came out and said, "Hey, guess what? Yeah, no, we're not. We're gonna have to reassess our plans here." What that means when when a company looks at you and says, "Hey, we're gonna reassess something," that means they're doing away with it. If a company looks at you and your manager says, "Hey, come in here," your supervisor says, "Hey, come in here. We need to reassess your position." That means you're fired. I just want you to understand that. So the report's conclusions are a disservice to UK citizens. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We will reassess our growth plans for the UK. That very much sounds like it means bye-bye. We're going to go ahead and just rethink through, being over here. Interesting. So you... We'll get into this in a second. I want to keep reading this. The UK is clearly closed for business. Yeah. Anyways, I've already kind of covered that. That is all like, it sounds to me like threatening speak. It sounds to me like a heavy insinuation of, hey, we'll just pull our stuff out. We'll also encourage other businesses to not put any money into UK. Like it really sounds like they're trying to use like a scare tactic here. Just how I read that. Approval or not by the CMA has been widely seen as the deal's biggest test, especially after the UK regulator initially issued a stern warning that the deal could harm UK gamers and potentially result in higher prices, fewer choices, and less innovation. Man. Cloud concerns prevent deal. Oh, wait, this answers one of my questions. Was this Sony's fault? I'm not going to deny that this is an L, or this is a W for Sony. But what I will deny is that this is a W because of Sony. There's a huge difference in that. And so let's continue. Cloud concerns prevent deal. So what went wrong? Today's report makes clear the CMA still harbors deep concerns over Microsoft's already entrenched position in cloud gaming, and that the company would find it commercially beneficial to make Activision's games exclusive to its own cloud gaming service. The CMA stated that Microsoft's current large share of the global cloud gaming market was already benefiting from its ownership of Xbox, Windows, and cloud infrastructure Azure, and that being able to control franchises such as Call of Duty, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft would risk any further competition in this space. The cloud allows UK gamers to avoid buying expensive gaming consoles and PCs and gives them much more flexibility and choice as to how they play. Allowing Microsoft to take such a strong position in the cloud gaming market just as it begins to rapidly grow would risk undermining the innovation that is crucial to the development of these opportunities, the CMA wrote. So, my goodness, there is a lot there. They would find it commercially beneficial to make Activision games exclusive to its own cloud gaming service. No joke. Like, no joke. This has been... I know they're framing it in all of cloud gaming, right? But that has been the argument that Sony made, and Sony got shot down. Saying that, hey, if they take this and make it exclusive, it hurts us. I find it interesting that the CMA sits and goes, no, it ain't going to hurt you. You'll be okay. It's going because, Sony's not really They don't seem to be attempting the cloud gaming thing. But Xbox, on the other hand, is. So the CMA is right. PlayStation would be fine. Idle threats, right? Right. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what they're giving. They're giving those idle threats of, listen, we're going to pull our stuff. Or, man, it'd be a shame if nobody wanted to do business here with y'all. Like, and I don't think the UK is hurting for companies to do business with. Yet, dude, I did not see how much they lost, but oh my goodness, they have lost a ton of money today. Um, which is interesting because Microsoft was actually up this morning. I had talked to one of my clients about it while I was at their house working on their AC. But they they get told that, hey, listen, taking the games off of PlayStation, that's not that bad. Taking them away from every service and making them only solely through Xbox is a potential possibility, and that's not okay. Whoa. Like, if PlayStation would have been fine. They say it's because of cloud gaming. And we can only go with what we're told. This is what we're being told. They already benefit from its ownership of Xbox, Windows, and cloud infrastructure Azure, and that being able to control franchises such as Call of Duty, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft will risk any further competition in this space. Why is that? I don't know if... Oh. What's up, Nelson? So, why would that be so hard? Well, Call of Duty is the world's largest first-person shooter. Overwatch is another one that has a really big player base. And then World of Warcraft, I don't know if they still are, but at one point was the largest MMORPG, period. And so if you funnel people to Xbox or to Xbox's cloud gaming to have to be able to use these services, and if they make it exclusive, then that shuts out the entire rest of the market from or at least two of the biggest IPs in online. Dang. Then basically, one of the things that I find funny is that the cloud allows UK gamers to avoid buying expensive consoles and PCs and gives them much more flexibility and choice as to how they play. So, when I read that first, I was like, dang, are they like really trying to screw their people over and making them spend a lot of money to get a console when you could do cloud gaming? And then I thought about it, and the way I read it is that they want more companies to enter that space because that will drive the price down, and then it would benefit UK gamers and make it to where they would be able to avoid having to buy expensive consoles or PCs. That's the way I'm kind of reading it, because the other way sounds like they just hate their people, and I don't think they hate their people. So yeah, let's keep going. Microsoft submitted a proposal, and hey, I have a few more people in here right now. If you could, share this out. I am literally going over the Eurogamer article from today. They they really do. It's so bad. So I'm just reading this article. I have it linked. It's the first comment in here. Yeah, so let's keep going. Microsoft submitted a proposal to address the CMA's concerns, the regulator notes, though its remedies did not go far enough. A major sticking point was that the CMA decided Microsoft's much-touted 10-year deals with other cloud gaming companies were behavioral remedies that could contain loopholes and would require ongoing enforcement. So the CMA doesn't trust you, is essentially what that says. That's what that says. Like, we don't trust you. We don't trust you enough to be able to handle this without regulation. And we don't want to be your global babysitter. Well, why don't you trust Xbox? ZeniMax. And I don't even play Bethesda games. The last Bethesda game I played was, oh geez, um, I was Fallout New Vegas Bethesda back then. I don't know. If it was, that was the newest one I played, but I don't care about that deal. That deal did nothing to me as a gamer. But what it did do is show that Microsoft will talk out of one side of their mouth and then do something else. Nelson Gaming, yeah, I know Obsidian did it, but wasn't Obsidian part of Bethesda at the time? Sati, talk about cloud. that, God dang. Uh, okay, so I guess I was wrong, and the only Bethesda game I've ever played then is like 3 hours of Skyrim, and I absolutely freaking hated it. So I literally couldn't care less, but what it showed was that Microsoft will lie. They will say, hey, we're going to put our stuff everywhere. We're not going to hold it to ourselves. We're not going to. We promise. And then, oh crap. Hey, you bought us? Oh yeah, we're going to cancel that Starfield PlayStation build. We're just going to be done with that. Hey, Arcane, we're going to go ahead and stop the Redfall build, which, thank you, Microsoft, for that. I appreciate that. That's one game I don't have to even consider buying. And so it's it's like the CMA literally looked at them and said, "Hey, listen, we don't think that these deals are actually worth the paper they're written on, and we can't trust you to maintain your integrity in this. So we're just going to go ahead and say no because we don't want to babysit you." Like, that's the way this sounds to me. That's the way that this sounds. The cloud gaming companies, the 10-year deals with cloud gaming companies were behavioral remedies that could contain loopholes and would require ongoing enforcement. Like, we don't trust you. We don't believe these deals are worth the paper they're written on, and we don't want to babysit you. So yeah, we're not doing this. Ultimately, it decided that simply blocking the deal was the safer option. There are significant risks of disagreement and conflict between Microsoft and cloud gaming service providers, particularly over a 10-year period in a rapidly changing market. Huh. There's that 10-year number again. Accepting Microsoft's remedy would inevitably require some degree of regulatory oversight by the CMA. The report continued. By contrast, preventing the merger would effectively allow market forces to continue to operate and shape the development of cloud gaming without this regulatory intervention. So, hey, they're saying, listen, if we just leave this crap alone, if we don't really have to get involved with this right now, it's going to handle itself. Microsoft, we don't need you to handle this. If we give all this to you, then we're going to have to handle you, and we don't want to do that. If we just, let our hands go from it and just not let you have it, then we will be just fine. Just fine. Let me check on the chat. I think I've missed some stuff. Bring it up in the cloud. They got them in check. Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. And then what's up, Nelson? Okay, I thought I missed something. Oh, there it is. World of Warcraft used to have 15 million subscribers, paying $15 a month just to play one game. With inflation made more than all of Game Pass. No doubt. And there are still people who keep their membership active, who do monthly or weekly raids. They get on just for a little bit and go in there. So, anyways, let's get back to the article. Because basically all they did was reiterate their point. Listen, we don't trust you. We don't believe you, and it would require a ton of regulatory oversight by us. By contrast, preventing the merger would effectively allow market forces to continue to operate and shape the development of cloud gaming without this regulatory intervention. In other words, we don't have to freaking mess with it. It's not up to us. We don't have to. And so the CMA weighed the benefits to gamers of having Activision Blizzard content easily accessible via Game Pass as a counter argument, but decided this did not outweigh its concerns. So basically, Microsoft is saying, "Hey, listen, we'll put it on there. We'll put it on there. Like, don't worry about it." And the CMA goes, "Yeah, Game Pass isn't good enough, man. Like, that's not. I don't. They didn't actually say that, but that's what it sounds like. They, Activision Blizzard content easily accessible via Game Pass as a counter argument, but decided this did not outweigh its concerns. We don't care. That's what that sounds like. We don't care." The CMA carefully considered whether the benefit of having Activision's content available on Game Pass outweighed the harm that the merger would cause to competition in cloud gaming in the UK. It said the CMA found that this new payment option, while beneficial to some customers, would not outweigh the overall harm to competition and ultimately UK gamers arising from this merger, particularly given the incentive for Microsoft to increase the cost of Game Pass subscription post-merger to reflect the addition of Activision's valuable games. Dear goodness, Salty, I think if you're still here, I think that TSGP are psychics. I really do. This is what we talked about. Like, Jez went on a freaking rant about this, that they were going to end up jacking the price up. They were going to end up raising it because they have to be able to pay for all these games that you're getting, and that's how they're going to try to offset the cost. 10K new employees only cost $300 a month. Only cost $300 a month. Hopefully employees cost more than that. But so this is something that we had said. This is something that people could see miles and miles and miles away. If you're getting all these extra games, we predict the future. Yeah, no kidding. We predict the future, yes. If you are getting all of these games, we are going to raise Game Pass. Why? Because of value. Look at all you're getting. I even did this whole thing on my Twitter that was like, here's my prediction if the ABK deal goes through. And I set up different tiers of Game Pass, because that's what I started this video saying I expected this deal to go through and I was ready for it to go through. I didn't care anymore. I just wanted it to be over. And now that it's over, I am singing a happy song, doing a happy dance. And I know that it's not technically over because they're going to appeal it. And if they have new evidence, then it'll be able to be heard again and could take up to 3 years and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. The deal's dead. I don't know what new evidence they're going to give except for, we can't be market leader because our sales don't support. I mean, they already tried that one, so that's not really new. Maybe they're going to give them the evidence that they've, sold 30% less consoles. I don't know what their plans are. Their revenue's down from last year. This is our evidence. I don't know what evidence they would be able to bring. So I do get that. But let's continue. I'm going to get a drink because I have been talking a lot because I don't have anybody else here to talk. All right, let's continue. Martin Coleman, chair of the independent panel of experts conducting the investigation, concluded by stating the CMA's decision was a win for the UK, protecting competition in the emerging and exciting cloud gaming market. Dang. So, Martin Coleman, chair of the independent panel of experts, this is why I'm reading the article. This is why right here that I'm reading the article, because I don't want to do hearsay. I want to give you exactly what is here. This guy, Martin Coleman, said the CMA's decision was a win for the UK, protecting competition in the emerging and exciting cloud gaming market. They're not trying to get rid of cloud gaming. They're trying to make sure that Microsoft doesn't just monopolize the thing. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it more of an open space. So that way another company with money can come in and get involved in cloud gaming. You know, kind of the same way Microsoft had all that money and decided to get involved with consoles and now has 15 to 20% of the market share. So like it's so infuriating that Microsoft and people on the Xbox side, and even some people on the Sony side, can't see that this is about cloud gaming 100%. Microsoft already enjoys a powerful position and a head start over other competitors in cloud gaming, and this deal would strengthen that advantage, giving it the ability to undermine new and innovative competitors, Coleman concluded. Microsoft engaged constructively with us to try to address these issues, and we are grateful for that, but their proposals were not effective to remedy our concerns and would have replaced competition with ineffective regulation in a new and dynamic market. That's a powerful paragraph. Cloud gaming needs a free, competitive market to drive innovation and choice. That is best achieved by allowing the current competitive dynamics in cloud gaming to continue to do their job. Microsoft, we don't need you. We don't want to give you this much power. You already have a ton of it in this section. We don't need to give you this power. And in doing so, it would undermine competition. I'm sorry. What has, for those of you who were not here at the beginning, what has this whole thing started from? Let us compete. And as this went on, wait, it's not about COD. Look at all these cloud deals. This is about strengthening their cloud. This is about strengthening their cloud. Oh, it's not going to affect PlayStation. Nope, it's going to affect cloud gaming companies and people trying to enter that space. It doesn't make it an open market. It makes it a Microsoft market. Right now, gaming is wide open console-wise. And if you include PC, you got console and PC, you got Switch, you got Steam Deck, you got Xbox, you got the Series S, you have the PS5. Like, you have an open market. And as we've seen, if other companies want to pony up the money, they can try to get into that space. Right? Steam Deck has done it quite successfully. But it's also because depending on where you're at in the world, like Nintendo's dominant or PlayStation is dominant, or, you know, I'm sure there's a country out there somewhere that Microsoft is dominant. I don't really know if there is, but I have to believe. And so basically they're saying, hey, listen, we're not going to let you stifle out the cloud gaming market before it can even have a chance to flourish and get off the ground. What part of their response said anything about Sony or PlayStation? Nelson. Steam Deck 1 million in 1 year, great success. PSVR 2 $300K in a month. Terrible product. Oh, don't worry. They're going to start coming out with stuff like if you set your controller upside down, it melts through the top or some crap. Um, so now let's talk about the next part, global scrutiny concerns. And I'm going to keep this going until I get tired of reading or until I come to the end. And I think I'm getting close to the end now. Um, Global scrutiny concerns. Tom is going to continue here for us. Today's decision comes at a huge shock and follows recent suggestion by the CMA that it was softening its stance. Remember, I mentioned this earlier back when all the Xbox Twitter accounts were going nuts, back when they said that it wouldn't harm PlayStation. Oh, they're softening up. This is going to happen. Even me, I will sit there and tell you, even I said, yeah, it's done. It's a done deal. Let them have it. And let's just be finished with it. I had a countdown going for today because I was so tired of hearing about this deal. And now I can be happy and done. Anyways, they were softening their stance. A provisional conclusion document released last month pointed to today's positive outcome for Microsoft, with an acknowledgement the deal would not result in a substantial lessening of competition in relation to console gaming in the UK. I don't know how people missed that. I missed that. I don't understand why I didn't latch on to that when it came out and said console gaming. Well, duh, this is about the cloud. Like, words are important, folks. I wanted to see the circus unfold with many bodies when they would... Nelson, you're not going to let me get through this, are you? You're just not. Not result in a substantial lessening. Yes, so that's basically what I've talked about a couple times. Sony reacted angrily to that development, slamming the CMA's change of stance as surprising, unprecedented, and irrational. Okay, so true story, I haven't read this whole article. So the case that I made earlier, that it sounded like they're both saying the same flippin' thing, yeah, they're going to point that out as well. With the deal blocked for now, here in the UK, Microsoft must also still pass two other key regulators before it can be finalized worldwide. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission, you know, those fellas at the... No, that's the FCC. Never mind. And the EU's European Commission. As reported earlier today, Microsoft is already seeking a swift end to the FTC's concerns, working under the assumption the CMA would ultimately offer its approval. The EU, meanwhile, recently delayed its final decision on the deal until the 22nd of May, as Microsoft issued a flurry of announcements designed to appease any lingering anti-competition concerns around access to Call of Duty. So, no, the EU said, hey, listen, we want to wait for the CMA. Because essentially what they have now, I was talking to my wife about what the show was going to be about tonight over dinner, and I was telling her that basically the EU was like, yeah, we're going to wait. And the reason why was because now that the CMA's made their decision and said no, the other two regulatory commission or bodies can just copy paste. Like, hey, listen, you're not that market weak over here in the US. And so, yeah, that plus the cloud thing, yeah, no, we're done. And the EU could say the exact same thing. So interesting. So the 22nd of May is 2 days after my birthday. So let's hope I get another birthday present, and you know the FTC will follow suit, and we can just be done with this altogether. It'd be real interesting if Microsoft tried to still purchase them after three major governing bodies said, yeah, no, we're not going to approve that. I don't even know how that works. Like, could they still sell their stuff over here? I have no idea. I am not a business professional. That is another reason why I'm reading this article. As recently as last month, the CMA was still deliberating whether Microsoft owning Activision Blizzard might make the company too competitive in cloud gaming. If and when the deal is approved worldwide, Microsoft will have paid a record-breaking, eye-watering sum for one of the largest video game publishers on the planet. It will own Call of Duty from Activision, plus Blizzard franchises such as World of Warcraft, Diablo, and StarCraft, as well as mobile giant King, the maker of Candy Crush. While much of the CMA's focus has been on Microsoft's ownership of Call of Duty, Microsoft itself has acknowledged the deal is crucial to its future plans on mobile. Of course it is, because if you're going to have a cloud infrastructure, the best place to put that is on mobile devices. Like, duh. It makes absolutely... Xbox is being abandoned by Microsoft because Microsoft is trying to chase cloud gaming. It's trying to chase the mobile phone market, or the mobile gaming market via cloud gaming. And this article basically sets all of that into perspective within the framework of this deal. And so Xbox lacks any major presence on phones, save for their use as a streaming device. But new rules are expected to kick in from March 2024 onwards, requiring Apple and Google to allow app stores from other companies, such as Microsoft itself. Here, the likes of Call of Duty Mobile, Diablo Immortal, and Candy Crush Saga could sit, opening up Microsoft's revenue to a still largely untapped market. So basically, what they're saying here is that because of what's going to be happening next year, if this ABK deal goes through and gets approved, Microsoft then could pull those games from the Google Store and from the App Store and put them onto Xbox cloud gaming market exclusively. Who does that... Ooh, that hurts when those are some of the top grossing mobile games out. And yeah, we can talk about Diablo Immortal in a different stream and like the business practices and the money sink that is, and the deceitfulness and the all the crap that ABK is really good at. The predatory practices, like we could talk about that in a different stream. But that money right now is being split between Activision Blizzard, and then a percentage goes to Google and a percentage goes to Apple. You get to put that on your own cloud streaming service and lock it behind your Game Pass cloud gaming app. And then all of a sudden, you have the market cornered. The top grossing games are on your device. And how many more games does King own? Like, do they do other games? So no, this, back to my original statement and my original question, this has very little to do with Sony and a lot to do with the fact that they can't trust Microsoft to stick by their word, and because of that, they don't want to have to try to govern them and have to try to babysit their practices and what they do. So, just like most of us were screaming from the rooftops, this is because of the precedent they set with the ZeniMax deal. That it is. It's because they can't be trusted. And you don't want to give somebody who can't be trusted more of the market share, because then you have to babysit them. So let's keep going. Today's decision comes amidst a gloomier picture for Xbox overall. Oh, what? Are we... As sales of Series X and S consoles stall after a slow financial quarter. Oh, crap. I didn't even realize that was in here. That's the end. Okay. So we just reached the end of the article, and dude ends it with a zinger. Today's decision comes amidst a gloomier picture for Xbox overall, as sales of Series X and S consoles stall after a slow financial quarter. So, like, he comes in with a whopper right there and just says, hey, here's... This is on top of this. So, I don't remember who I was listening to today or watching or what video. Um, it was a very busy day today for me. But they were saying that April's going to go down. April 2023 is going to go down as the worst month in Xbox gaming history. And I think that might be true. Like, if Starfield comes out at 30 frames per second and glitchy and buggy and not running very smooth and well, like that might be worse. But up to this point, it's April 2023. Redfall gets announced as being junk. The Ghostwire Tokyo can't perform better on a Series X than it does on a PS5 after an extra year of development and direct access to the tools. They had Sati's tool bag, and it just didn't work. They asked for a crescent wrench, he handed him an Allen wrench. It just ain't gonna work right. And then you have this. Like, oh, and put on there that who knew games going to Game Pass would stifle sales of said games on Game Pass. it's, it's just bad. It's so bad, and it sucks. They should have bought Lowe's instead of buying ABK. Like, they're just taking L after L after L. Like, and so here's the thing. I follow a couple Xbox guys because not all of them are ridiculous. I also follow a couple channels that literally play everything. Heck, I follow Happy Gamer, and that dude is one of the absolute most upbeat and happy people on the freaking YouTube app. And I think he mains Nintendo, like he loves his Nintendo Switch. But I also know that he does play JRPGs and stuff like that. But anyways, like I follow a variety of different people, and it is absolutely crazy to me to have to watch people who defend Xbox, people who say, I still love the ecosystem, people who talk about how I'm still part of the Xbox brand and community. It really bothers me for them. Like, because I've mentioned it before on this channel, I'm a gamer. And yes, I can have a blast. And I can talk about deals, and I can puff out my chest a little bit when the company that I support, that my hard-earned money goes to, gets a victory, or I play a really awesome title by them. But a lot of that stuff is said almost in jest, or in, like, I don't mean it to mean harm on anybody. And at the end of the day, I want gamers to enjoy gaming. And I think that's why I push hard for... Nelson, I appreciate you stopping by chat, man. If y'all haven't yet, I still can't see who's here, but if y'all haven't, please share this. It would be great. I was hoping to get some pretty good engagement on this. But also there are about 1 million other people right now doing live streams on this very topic. But I feel bad for Xbox players right now, especially the ones who won't even admit that there's a problem. Like, and I know, people make their own choices, and it's their money, not mine. They can spend their money on whatever the heck they want to. But it's not a good system right now. It's not a good generation. It has been one crap show after the other. And so I don't necessarily... You can't make people do things, right? I'm not going to convince somebody to switch over to a PS5, but I get to constantly play good games. I get to constantly hear about new studios that have been working on an exclusive title that, oops, hey, they're bought by Sony now. They're now part of the family. Or, I mean, Housemarque. Hey, we're going to let y'all do this. We want y'all to do it. Then, boom. The game releases and they purchase them up. Like, they foster relationships. And so, with fostering these relationships, they make better games. They make better content. And they don't have to talk a lot. Which, you know, I'm one of those guys that wants... you know, really good exclusives, really good games. But I want other people to be able to play them too. So, you know, it's kind of this back and forth that I have where I love puffing out my chest about PlayStation, but I also understand that this is a really crappy thing that is happening to other people and to other gamers, and what it's going to mean for somebody who spent $500 on an Xbox Series X. You know, we might see this be the last console that Xbox has. It very well could be. Heck, we might, maybe, if they leave the console market altogether, we might get a Game Pass type service. God, this would be so weird, on the PlayStation, because they would just go to being a publisher, or they get out of it altogether, which I don't think they would, because it seems like to me that Xbox is going back more to its PC roots. Or not Xbox, Microsoft. Dude, Nelson. Yes, I actually took a peek at chat. I found new respect for Xbox. I have newfound respect for Xbox One. Doesn't seem bad first few years at all anymore. No doubt. Like, Sony published like 4 games for Housemarque. Yeah, they did. But it's well, heck, they did the same thing with Insomniac. And I didn't realize that. For some reason, to me, Insomniac is PlayStation and has been for years. But, like, that was a relatively new acquisition. And somebody pointed out in my Twitter that it was like the steal of the century. So, like, you have to understand that I can joke around, I can play, I can have fun, I can laugh at the situation because I've watched the idiocy unfold. But at the end of the day, Xbox is not doing what is needed for its current gamers. And that sucks. You know, that's terrible. You have people, like, I saw one dude, and I don't even want to mention his name, but he came out today and issued an apology. Or not an apology, but just like, hey, I was wrong. And so, and he's a big Xbox supporter. I mean, big, almost delusional. But, like, he goes, hey, I was wrong. It didn't happen. And, like, come on. It just sucks. How many more times... Listen, if somebody watches this again, and... because they're not in the live stream, I can see that. But if somebody watches this, and they're an Xbox supporter... First of all, I hope you stayed until this point in the video. Second, I really, really just want to know, like, how much more do you need to take until you either switch over to PC fully, or, like, I don't know. I come to PS5, go to Nintendo, whatever. How long until you get done and fed up with Xbox? Because that's really the question here. Is how many more L's? How many more? That's Twitter speak. How many more negative outcomes? How many more bad things are you going to have to go through? Are you going to have to deal with? How many more? Well, let's just wait. Think about, man, if this appeal process goes out 3 years. 3 years. Like, then you're stuck in a just wait pattern for 3 more years. So, how in the absolute world, I'm sorry, how much more do you actually need to hear or to see happen before you leave Xbox altogether? And I mean Xbox console, not Game Pass. I mean, I fully expect gamers to still game. And I would expect, since you like the Xbox IPs, you would want to stay in that sort of system. But how long until you just abandon Xbox and go straight PC? Because I guarantee you, if PlayStation pulled this crap, if I didn't have new games to play on my $500 PS5, I'd be pissed. I mean, I would legitimately consider getting rid of my PS5. Because I don't play because of the S or the P. I don't play for those things. I don't play because I'm a Sony fanboy. I play Sony because they provide me the games that I like. And they provide them to me at a very high rate. And so, how much more are you going to take? How much more do you need before you just say, hey, I'm done. I'm tired of being in this relationship with this company that obviously doesn't give a rat's rip, because I've been told to wait now for almost 3 years. In waiting, I haven't gotten dang near anything I've asked for. And they keep telling me, just hold on, it's going to get better. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. Like, it makes me so frustrated for Xbox gamers. It really does. It's one of those things that bothers me to no end for y'all. And I'm being serious about this. Like, that bothers me. But anyways, let's continue on to some good news, because there is a second thing I did want to cover. And it's just really cool. It's something that's awesome. I like to do a piece of Xbox news, and I like to balance that out with a piece of Sony news. So, the Guerrilla Games, Angie Smet, I think I pronounced that right, is promoted to Head of Development Strategies at PlayStation Studios. Boom. That's awesome, right? Like, that's what you want to see. Hey, Horizon did terrible, Horizon did this, Horizon did that, the studio fell off, this and that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. They have now promoted another person from Guerrilla Games. And that is freaking awesome. Also, they acquired Firewalk Studios, who's working on a game that I'll probably never play because it's a first-person shooter. And I don't like first-person shooters. But Sony's doing things. They're moving a studio head that supposedly, produced a subpar game with Horizon Forbidden West because the story just was blah, 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 and this and that. And then the Burning Shores DLC was too short, and it was blah, 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 whatever. No. Sony's looking at that studio going, these guys got it. These dudes got it going on. Did you see what they just did with Burning Shores? Yeah, no. No, she's promoted now. So I just think that's really cool news. That's cool news to me. I like it when companies hire within. Um, I like it when you see them adding and expanding. And I think Insomniac came out this last week and said they expanded their studio, which is great because, dear goodness, Insomniac is a freaking machine. I don't know how we don't have people complaining about working conditions at Insomniac or anything like that, and they're still able to produce games at a very high rate and great quality games. Like, amazing quality games. And so it's just really cool to see the hiring from within. It's really awesome that Sony, thinks that Horizon performed well enough uh, to get Angie Smet her flowers in this. I just think that's really awesome. That's one of the uh, cool things that I love that Sony likes to do is hire from within. So, Guerrilla Games announced studio director and executive producer Angie Smets has been promoted to the head of development strategy at PlayStation Studios. By the way, this is from VGC. This is the article that I could not post the link to because it did not let me. But it's the past 2 decades at Guerrilla have been an absolute dream, says Smets. I feel privileged to have worked alongside some of the smartest and coolest people in the industry. I am so grateful for everything I've learned alongside all the other Guerrillas. We have accomplished so much as a team, and I'm incredibly proud of all the games that we have shipped together. A special shout out to Jean-Bart Van Beek and Michiel van der Leeuw. Okay, so I butchered both of those names, and I do apologize. It feels like just yesterday that we were figuring out how to make a ship in the first kill zone. Little did we know that we would eventually lead Guerrilla together. You've become like brothers to me, and there's no way to thank you enough. I will miss you dearly. Oh, that's so cool. So, oh man, hear me out here. And this is the fun part of the podcast that I usually have somebody else on to kind of bounce off and have these ideas and these fun little thoughts and rabbit trails. So, I remember when we made the first ship for Killzone. Just acquired Firewalk. They're making a first-person shooter. This person now is going up to head of... What is she head of again? Head of development strategy at PlayStation Studios. So she probably has a decent is going to have a decent working with studios making new IPs for their development strategies and how they want to move forward in the gaming sector. So what if, hear me out, this new IP is a Killzone multiplayer online FPS? I don't give a rat's rip about FPSs, but I know a lot of y'all do. I know a lot of people who play video games love FPS games, and I absolutely can't stand them. But what if Firewalk is working on that? Huh. That'd be fun. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. Just spitballing here. But anyways, that is one of the other things that I wanted to talk about was that she has been promoted. She is the head of development strategies now at PlayStation Studios. So congratulations to her. I think that's fan-freaking-tastic. And yeah, so anyways, guys, I think that's going to be the show for tonight. And I really appreciate those who stopped by. Just wanted to get my thoughts out on this deal. I had so many going through my head today. I actually only got to watch the second half of Jez's show today, and then I watched, I listened to, I think, the first hour of Reforged Gaming today, and outside of that, and I think Crap Game. I listened to Crap Gamer. No, not Crap Gamer. Lord Jesus, I am so sorry. Oh God, I can't save this now. This guy will probably never see my content anyways. But I meant to say Dreamcast guy. He is not Crap Gamer. That's my bad. He made a video about it, and I watched and listened to his video. But I mean, outside of that, I really wanted to go over the article, really wanted to read that to y'all, and uh, thank y'all for stopping by. It's been a fun night tonight, and yeah, catch me again. I tried efforting a few people tonight. Everybody was either busy or, on vacation, like our buddy Church is. I'm just kidding. He's not on vacation. I wish him a speedy recovery. Uh, I hope you're still listening to this, man. Get better. The pod won't be the same without you tomorrow night, and uh, yeah, man, just get better, dude. Anyways, thank y'all, and good night.